again. Another stream. Where am I? You're on Instagram Live. I'm also testing out streaming on YouTube for the first time, so we'll see how that goes. Stop trolling. Three o'clock in the UK. Yeah, it's about to be 10 here. Your strokes are beautiful. Thank you. I look funny today. I love catching these lives. It's so satisfying watching people paint today. I look funny every day. Not funny? So which is it? Do I look funny or do I not look funny? This setup looks cool. I didn't know IG does that. Yeah, Instagram lets you stream from desktop now, so you can use like desktop streaming programs. So I'm streaming through Streamlabs and YouTube at the same time. You don't look funny, you always look good. Thank you. Hey, how's it going over on YouTube? Hi, Lauren and Denise. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. Had a good day. It was warm here. It's like 80 degrees. I painted outside and then went to portrait drawing, so got a lot of painting done today. What brand is that? Oh, brush brand. This is Princeton brush. Why did you pick that shade for the underpainting? I don't know. I'm just testing it out, seeing how it goes. Can I ask the logic behind doing a purple base layer? This time I just picked something that wasn't directly in reference, so that when I'm painting over top of it, it makes it easy to know what I painted and didn't paint. But yeah, it wasn't a super deep thought into this one today. I was just testing it out. Did you use a fine liner? No, I used this ballpoint pen for the underlaying, for the drawing. Just a ballpoint pen. Are you going to be trying to achieve the same colors in the photo, or are you doing your own thing? I was trying to get something close to the photo. It's probably not gonna match exactly, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna dry this real quick, so I'm gonna turn off my mic so that you don't hear the loud dryer. So I'll be back in a second. Wait, what? Lasagna is definitely technically a Big Mac. What does that even mean? And Somebody said, "Did you freehand this with the pen or sketch first?" I freehanded with the pen. I've been into freehanding with pen lately, because it's just more direct and fast. Denise, hi, I've watched most of your videos, and you always say it's just to put the same. It's just to put some color down so you won't be intimidated by the white paper. Yeah, exactly. Just having something down helps you to get over the fear of starting. Like, now that it's purple, the only way I can fix it is by continuing to paint. So, loving the detail on the feathers. Thank you. Love the jam. All right, I don't know what you're talking about with fishing. 1832. What type of paper? This is Strathmore. Mixed media. 500. Looks really cool. Thank you. What brand of gouache am I using? I'm using acrylic gouache. Turner acrylic gouache. All right, so let's see. I think I'm gonna start by painting like the dark, like grayish feathers. See how they go. And over on YouTube, how's it look? Everything look good to you guys? Namaste. Glad I came across your page. You're offering just inspiration for me to get back into my art, which I've been very remiss in doing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully, you'll paint along and have some fun. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Could you please show your mixer? My mixer? Like the palette down here? This is my palette on the bottom camera. Is acrylic gouache better than regular gouache? Oh, is acrylic gouache better than regular acrylic? I like the look of it a little better because it dries to like a matte finish versus like acrylic dries to like a plasticky looking finish. But acrylic gouache, it dries to like it dries and it looks like a nice even flat wash, kind of just like gouache actually, which is why I like it a lot. What's the difference between gouache and acrylic? Gouache, you can think of gouache as a opaque watercolor. They have basically the same ingredients. The main difference between watercolor and gouache is that it's just like a higher pigment load, so that it's a more opaque paint. But in terms of acrylic has an actual, like the binder is different. The binder is like acrylic, which is a type of plastic. So once it dries, it doesn't, you can't reactivate it. It's more like watercolor, yeah, exactly. Which is smoother? Between acrylic and gouache, I would say gouache is smoother. And acrylic gouache is basically acrylic, but just like matte. So it's kind of confusing. It's beautiful. Thank you. Oh, I need to try it out? Yeah, you should. Both of them are fun to use. Any tips for transitioning from acrylic to gouache? What do you keep in mind when using one versus the other? I haven't used much regular acrylic. But I would say if you're looking to transition, you might want to try out acrylic gouache, because it's like a kind of like a medium. It's like an in between the two, if that makes sense. Cool. I see what you mean by drying down low. This is cool. Thank you. Acrylic gouache, it's not too bad. It's like probably like $5 a tube. And then the big tubes of like black and white would probably be like $10. Do you have to constantly keep your brush wet? So acrylic, yeah, exactly. I have the spray bottle that I used to keep my paint on the palette wet, and then I have a bucket. When I'm not using the brush, I keep it in the water so that the paint doesn't dry inside the bristles. But yeah, definitely want to, when you're using it, you definitely want to keep your brushes wet, because yeah, once it dries, it's not the greatest for your brushes. Do you ever lay down a casing base? Yeah, I've tried it before. I've seen James Gurney do it. I tried it, but I tried it for like painting outside, like plein air painting, and it works nice. It works really good for plein air, like just to get rid of the white of the paper. Guess who's back? I thought you were in Guadalajara. Jamar, do you think my art grades are cooked? I don't know what your art grades are. I wouldn't be able to tell. Gurney, yeah. He's the best. It's crazy, like how fast he is when it comes to like plein air painting and stuff, and accurate. Would you rather be one of those girls you draw literally, or one of the birds that you're painting right now? I probably pick the bird because you can fly wherever you want, so that's kind of cool. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. It was like 80 degrees up here in Providence. It was nice. I had to paint outside. What kind of paper am I working on? This is Strathmore tone. This is Strathmore mixed media. Strathmore 500 mixed media. So it's what's the name of the orange paint? The paint that I'm putting on right now. This is it's burnt sienna with some burnt umber in it. Today, RDJ, I bought some new books at the library, so you should choose one you will read. The books are Greek mythology, romance, and poems of femininity. I'll probably do the Greek mythology. Greek mythology. The colors, I like the colors so far. That purple isn't really interfering too much with anything. Is there a party going on? Yeah, there's something going on next door. So I'm in my studio and there's like something next door, and I think they have some kind of event or something. And the walls are kind of thin, so you probably can hear everything. I have my headphones on, so my bad, that's not the music. I have my headphones on, so I can't hear it, but congrats, beautiful bird in a few minutes. It's really incredible. Thank you. Yo, how's it going? I love the way you've done these ankles. Thank you. Why not the poems? I thought you would be the type of that. Yeah, I don't know. Poems of femininity. I mean, I don't know. I'm open-minded. I guess I keep an open mind, but I don't know. Out of the options you've listed, the first one that caught my eye was the Greek mythology one. Sounds like First Friday. I love your smile, your teeth so much. Yeah, my teeth are crooked. I should get some braces or something. I might put in the background early. Oh yeah, I can hear them next door even with my headphones on. It's usually pretty quiet by this time at night. But yes, must be some kind of event. I love your curls. Thank you. What's the playlist? This is it's called Lo-Fi Girl, and it's on Spotify. It's a public playlist. I can't even lie, I would choose the Greek mythology too, but the other two, I adore your crooked teeth. It's okay if you want braces, but I think thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate that. I actually have like an extra tooth right in the front, and if I were to get braces, I'll have to get the extra tooth removed. Where did you get your reference? This is from Pinterest, just a random bird. This type of bird is called a Goliath heron. And this is just from, or I think it's from Pinterest. Do you seal your paintings after finish? None. At least not these ones in the sketchbook. I usually don't really seal them. And the acrylic gouache is okay. It's pretty, what's the word? Pretty stable. Regular gouache can smear to the next page, so I'll usually protect the page with like a piece of parchment paper. Dope art, bro. Thank you. Brother, what is that reading? You skip like 6 things in a sentence. I'm like skimming. It's a lot going on. I got 2 chats. I'm painting. I'm like super multitasking. Yeah, this the background is gonna help me judge the values of the bird a little better. Nice drawing, thank you. I think your painting is beautiful. The colors are gorgeous and so delicate. Love the curve of the neck and the finesse of the face and feet. Thank you. It's a very pretty bird. I might have to paint one too. Yeah, they're fine. I got a bunch of them on my board. I got a couple of them. Yeah, these are Goliath herons, and then these are like the great blue herons. I actually saw one of these like 2 weeks ago. I was painting outside, and one of them just landed like on a rock that I was painting near where I was painting. It's pretty cool. I didn't know we had them up here. It's a pretty bird. I might have to paint one. Talk about multitasking, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. The first thing that goes is my speech when I'm multitasking. Makes it easy to kind of trip over words and forget what I'm talking about. But I think it's good practice. I don't know for what, but for something. And since these first layers are so opaque, I'm not even gonna bother painting around those feathers. I'll just paint them back in later. Love your art. Thanks for drawing. Thank you for drawing me those couple of years again. Thanks again for drawing me those couple of years. Oh, did I drew you with like the that challenge thing I used to do? Nice. Whoa, the background makes it pop. This is really teaching me that I need to pay more attention to my square brushes. Yeah, they're my favorite, especially for gouache, because it helps you just put down a big patch of color. I'm trying to hold my page up so I don't get like paint on this painting, but I kind of got a little bit there. And then these paper clips help to kind of keep the pages flat. Because whenever you wet like paper, it kind of starts to buckle a little bit. What inspires you the most to keep going? I have difficulty staying focused and inspired. You might want to try out like switch up your subject matter or switch up your medium. Try painting something different. Like this week, I kind of was tired of painting portraits, so like I painted boots the other day. I painted my boots, and then now I'm painting like this bird. That always kind of keeps it fresh, switching up like your subject matter. Trying a different medium. So sometimes when I'm tired of painting, I'll switch to digital or switch to drawing. But yeah, I feel you, because I definitely can. Yeah, I guess my answer is just like try switching it up, trying something different. Yeah, I really need to invest in some square brushes. We have lots of great blue herons in Quebec. They're so beautiful. Yeah, I saw one the first time. Or I don't know if it's the first time. It's the first time I noticed it, because I actually painted a bunch of them. Not too long. Actually, yeah, right in the sketchbook. I painted a couple weeks ago, and then like now that I painted them, I kind of noticed there was one just. I was painting outside like a building, and one just like landed right in my line of sight. Like, that's pretty cool. Is this watercolor? Nah, this is gouache. This is acrylic gouache. Acrylic gouache. How you guys doing over on YouTube? Everything look good? Beautiful. Thank you. I wanna. Yeah, like one of my favorite things to do, using the background is always fun to like use the background to help carve out the silhouette of the painting. It helps you to better judge values, and it helps you to like clean up any edges and carve out the silhouette. Continue, please. This is just some tracing paper that I'm gonna use to protect the next page, so when I'm painting near the edges, I don't have to worry about painting on the next page. Continue, please. How do you get acrylic gouache off your palette? So I'm using this. I have a palette with glass, and I just use like a scraper. Once it dries, I just scrape it off. That makes it real easy to clean. Cause yeah, once it dries, it can be kind of a hassle on like a regular plastic palette to clean up. So yeah, if you use a glass palette, all you gotta do is just scrape it right off, and it's really like I can show you. Like this is actually dry right here. So once it's dry, all you gotta do is just scrape it, and you got a clean spot. Wow, nice tip. Yeah, no problem. What about brushes? Do they harden? Yeah, they do, but so when I'm not using them, I keep them in this water so that it doesn't harden in the brush. I keep them in the water, and then when I'm finished painting, I'll clean them a little better. But yeah, you definitely don't want it to sit in your brushes. Love from Philippines, handsome. Thank you. Thanks for showing that. Yeah, no problem. My setup got a couple buckets of water. I'm getting my paint from this thing, so I have all my paint squeezed out into this airtight container, and yeah, once what am I talking about? I forgot what I was talking about. Airtight palette container. Yeah, do I consider myself an illustrator? Yeah, I guess so. I'm kind of all over the place. I did my first book cover, so that was I guess that's an illustration. Do you consider yourself an illustrator? I consider myself, I just paint and post on the internet, and then people ask me to do stuff. So I don't know what to call that. An independent artist, I guess. How the acrylic gouache dries? It dries down to like a matte finish, like a smooth, like velvety finish. It's nice. It looks just like gouache, to be honest. It's just the main difference is that once it dries, it doesn't like re-wet. It doesn't re-wet once you add more water to it, whereas regular gouache does. So that's the main difference between the two. That looks amazing. Thank you. Yeah, the background makes it pop a little bit. I like that. I like painting with greens and stuff. Like I said, I was testing out streaming over on YouTube, so if you guys wanted to see what that looks like, it's the same name, JMR Art. Might try to get on some kind of regular schedule. We'll see. You got nice curly hair. Thank you. This stream setup on Instagram goes crazy. Thank you. How many cameras are you using? I have 3 webcams. So this is my main webcam, which is a Logitech Brio. Then this is like the selfie cam is some random Amazon webcam, and then this one, the palette cam, is a Logitech C9220, I think. Any suggestions for artists going from portraits to animals? Animals are actually kind of easier because it's like if something's off about an animal, it's kind of hard to tell versus a portrait. Like we see portraits we see people's faces every single day, so it's like if the eye is kind of off a little bit, it's really easy to tell. But with an animal is like a bit more forgiving. So actually give it a try. You might find that it might be easier for you. Are you using the same type of brushes for your gouache? Yeah, I'm using the same type of brushes. Except I'm not using my nicest ones though, for sure. In general, with acrylic gouache, I tend to try to use my not nicest brushes, just because I don't want to ruin them. It can definitely be hard on your brushes, especially if you allow the paint to dry inside of it. Are you using the same incident? What are the yellow and blue paint called? Such a rich green. The yellow. So this yellow is, let's see. I think it's this permanent lemon. Permanent lemon. So it's just like a cooler yellow. And the green is, I think it's phthalo green. I want to say. Where is that? Yeah, phthalo green. And then I'm dropping in some either burnt sienna or burnt umber to kind of have some color variation in there. And if I wanted to darken the green, I'll add some red to it. If you put red in the green, it'll give you like a nice dark color. I forgot to hit the record button, so there's not going to be any time lapse for this, unfortunately. I'll paint another bird at some point. Is Turner your preferred brand for regular gouache as well? I have a couple Turner colors, but I have mostly my Mary and M. Graham. M. Graham has a nice texture for their regular gouache. Turner is just because that's what's in my local art store. I have seen Holbein acrylic gouache, but it's more expensive and the tubes are smaller. So I kind of, but it did have a nice texture though. I did like the Holbein. How do you keep your color so clean with the way you mix on your palette? How do I keep my colors clean? Like the colors inside the paint well, or the colors that I'm applying onto the painting? If it's the former, I keep my colors clean because I have them in a separate container. And before, like, I'll clean out my brush before like adding it to a new color, so that I'm not like cross-contaminating. Does M. Graham ever get moldy inside and still? Yeah, it does. It does. Any regular gouache gets moldy. I haven't seen any mold in this acrylic gouache though. Probably because it's acrylic and not gum arabic, which is probably the mold can eat gum arabic. I heard somebody say you can use clove oil. If you use clove oil, that helps to combat the formation of mold. I haven't tried it yet, but so yes, somebody commented that before, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Cause yeah, in the winter time it's not that big of a deal, but now that the weather's warming up, the sealed container will definitely start to get moldy. What are the nicest? What are the nicest brushes, and what do you use them for? My nicest brush I have is probably this. It's this sable brush, so it's like a natural hair brush. This is from Princeton, but I only use that for watercolor since it's so delicate and expensive. I wouldn't use it for gouache, or definitely not acrylic gouache. I've got some clove oil, but haven't tried it yet. Does mold grow even if it's paint in a tube? No, if it's in a tube, it won't grow. It shouldn't grow because theoretically it shouldn't. It should be sealed, you know, and no access to the mold shouldn't have access to the paint inside. I haven't had any moldy paint in the tube before. And I've had a couple paints that are like quite old. So I've been working on this background for a while. Yeah, but give that a chance to dry, and then I'll start working on the bird again. It's just fun getting all those like variations of green. I can get caught up in it. So yeah, I'm just cleaning out the brush, and then since I'm gonna switch brushes, I'll like let it rest in the water while I'm working with a different brush. How do you maintain your brushes? Any tips? Well, yeah, that tip I just said. When it comes to acrylic gouache, definitely want to keep your brushes wet. And then I have this brush soap. And then I'll clean my brush. I have this brush cleaner, and then this soap, so I'll clean my brushes. I gotta clean them more often though. I could be a little better at maintaining them, but cool. Thank you. Over on YouTube. I think I'm Do you find gouache easier than you do watercolor? Gouache is more convenient. You can use it on a wider variety of surfaces. Like with watercolor, I like the results best when I use like cotton paper, 100% cotton paper, but that's typically more expensive. Gouache, you can use it. It's not as sensitive to the type of paper you use. As long as it's like mixed media, you can get pretty much similar results. And actually, I actually don't like gouache on like really nice watercolor paper because it absorbs a little bit too much for my liking. I like the gouache to kind of sit on the surface a bit because it makes it easier to blend. Makes it easier to blend. So that's the main reason. But I just signed up to teach a watercolor workshop, so I gotta start getting my practice in watercolor up a little bit more. But I actually kind of have the similar way of working with watercolor, just not quite as many layers, but I still like use flat brushes and everything. I should make Where will you be giving your watercolor course? This is gonna be a local thing. It's my first in-person type workshop here in Providence. So we'll see how that goes. Should be fun. Rhode Island? Yeah, Providence, Rhode Island. It's called the Providence, or the Rhode Island Watercolor Society. Sometime in August. We're gonna finalize the details. I'm painting something right now too. I love your technique. Thank you. What are you painting? What are you painting? I might lighten the background a little bit so that I could just paint the feathers in lighter. A burger. Nice. Yeah, I gotta try it. That might actually be a kind of a fun subject matter to paint. Burger. I don't think I've ever painted a burger before. I've painted like fried chicken. I don't paint that much food though. I should. Not with watercolor. I'm practicing layering. Nice. Oil? Nice. Are you using oil, Julia? I don't know why, but I did not expect. I don't know why, but I did not expect how buildable this would be. What do you mean by buildable? Like how it can layer? Like how it can layer on top of it? Gone barleycom. I've only used acrylic gouache. Is there benefits to mixing acrylic and traditional gouache? So that's actually what I'm using right now as well, acrylic gouache. But if I were to mix, I typically don't mix acrylic and gouache. Like if I were to paint, like mix the two, I'll do the gouache painting. If there was something that I wanted to like paint on top or like completely carve away, then I would use acrylic gouache on top of it. But typically, I don't tend to mix the two. Like if I did a gouache painting, I might use acrylic gouache. Like I might paint down white to kind of cover over a certain area, and then the white will make it easier to correct the mistake because the white acrylic gouache wouldn't wash up as easy as regular gouache would. But that's like the only time I would really mix the two. When is your event? It's aiming for beginning of August. I want to say I'm still finalizing it, but the day I asked for was August. I want to say August 3rd. It's gonna be a Saturday, August 3rd. I don't know why, but I didn't expect. I read that. Those layers are so fun to see build up. Thank you. Hi, bro. Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing okay. Hope you had a good day. Hey, how's it going? Batsy. It's amazing how do you plan the light of a painting in advance. Yeah, that's kind of the thinking I got from working in watercolor, because you really have to do that. Watercolor, you really have to plan. You really have to plan your lights, because the lights come from the white of the paper. So once you paint over it, you kind of can't get it back unless you like use gouache or something. I've only used acrylic gouache. Has there been? Your art is fantastic, by the way. Thank you. I need to put this. So the YouTube comments are way over on this computer over here. I need to get a computer that I can put right here, so it makes it easier to read both. You guys are great. Thank you. Where did you get patient? I'm patient in some things, but in certain other things not so much. If it's something I like to do, then I'm patient, but if it's not, then I'm definitely not patient. Or I'll fall asleep. One of the two options. How many hours can you paint in one sitting? If it's painting on location, I can actually paint longer. But if it's painting from a photo in like the studio here, and if I'm not on live, it's much easier for me to get distracted and like start looking at my phone or something. But if I'm in like a life drawing class or doing a plein air painting, I could go for like a couple of hours. I usually on Sundays, sometimes I go to like 2 back-to-back 3-hour life drawing classes. So hi, beautiful painting. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry, yes, I meant the layers building on each other and how pigmented this is. I see what you meant by the matte finish. Beautiful. I was expecting watercolor behavior only. Yeah, when you start building up the opacity, it makes it layers really nicely on top of each other. It's actually much easier to layer this than regular gouache, because regular gouache, you have to be mindful of how much water you're putting on top of your layers, because you can wash up the layer below. But with acrylic gouache, once it's dry, you don't have to worry about the amount of water in your mix on top, because it won't reactivate. So both have their strengths and weaknesses, because like on the flip side, if you're more into blending and stuff, then gouache is gonna be better, because you can blend at any time. So it's all about balance. I forgot to hit record. So no video for this one. Hey, I don't watch Twitch. Do I need a lap? Oh, is it saying? I'm streaming on YouTube now. I'm trying out YouTube because it seems YouTube is a little easier little easier. I think more people have YouTube. And Twitch, you don't need a laptop. You can watch Twitch on your phone, but yeah, today I'm streaming on YouTube for the first time just to test it out, see how it goes. Always need a video. Yeah, I started painting and talking, and then I looked up and I was like, oh, I forgot to hit record, and I was already like made some decent progress. So I'll paint another one. Probably not the same one, but I'll do another bird. Have you ever painted a panther or like a big cat? I think I painted a tiger before. Yeah, I did paint a tiger. Yeah. It's decent. I probably could do better now. This is from not that long ago. I mean, like maybe 2 years or something. I haven't painted one recently. I should though. Wow, the tiger. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna see how this white looks for the feathers that are like poking down. Sweet tiger, thank you. Please make a video about your sketch sometime, like the drawing process. Or like a sketchbook tour. How do you avoid overworking your paintings? When I feel that I get to like a point where like I'm not I'm kind of just noodling around, then I kind of stop. But actually with the acrylic gouache, overworking is not that much of a issue because what am I trying to say? Overworking isn't too bad with the acrylic gouache because like you're not gonna wash up. Like one thing that makes gouache look bad when you overwork it is when you start to like wash up the layers that are already down. But that's not much of an issue with the acrylic gouache because it stays put once you paint it. I feel like viewing the stream is much better on YouTube. Yeah, you can. It's a little bigger. You can see a bit more. Not as much as cut off by like the added elements. Whoa, that's so good. I love how the colors you use complement each other very nicely. Definitely brings the pieces to life. Thank you. Started on Instagram. Yeah, thanks for hanging out and thanks for checking it out. Yeah, I think more people, because I had been streaming to Twitch concurrently, but I think more people, I think it's easier for people to access YouTube versus Twitch. Like probably a lot of people don't even know what Twitch is. So I was just trying it out, see how it goes. Hola, hey, how's it going? Please, how to sketch pose animal. Oh, the thing I do before the painting. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can make a video. It's tricky. Sometimes at least when I first start drawing, what's it called? I sketch lightly. Since I draw directly in pen, I like to lightly sketch first, and that doesn't show up too much with the recording. But yeah, I can definitely try to. The chat on Insta is distracting too. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think it covers up like the bottom half of the stream as well, like the chat. Did you use some sort of grid or lines before to get the proportion right? No, I don't typically use a grid. I like to just sketch with like freehand, and I sketch with freehand, just kind of using a pen, and then yeah, once I sketch it, then I paint on top of it. I like the process you have on 21 Draw, but I like to see more about your pre-printing sketch process. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can do more of that because I think that might be helpful to people to kind of see. Lately, I've been switching up my methods a little bit. Where at least the last couple months, I've been, instead of like drawing with pencil first and doing all these construction lines, I've been just jumping straight in with pen. And it's actually been nice because it kind of works on your line confidence, and for me it helps me to just jump right into a painting instead of like procrastinating. So and ballpoint pen is nice because even though it's pen, you still have like a wide value range like you would with pencil if you sketch lightly and then like use a little bit of pressure to sketch lightly and then a lot of pressure when you want to finalize your lines. You just have excellent drawing skill. Thank you. Yeah, one thing I know, I've been doing a lot of like figure drawing and quick sketches, and that's been helping out when it comes to drawing and drawing from life. I think that's been helping me at least be able to see proportions like quickly. Of all the subjects you paint, which is your favorite? I'd probably say portraits. If it wasn't portraits, I'd probably say painting like construction vehicles. But on location though, it's not really that fun to paint from photos of environments. If I'm painting environments, then it's much more fun to do it in person for some reason. And then the other thing about acrylic gouache, and same thing with regular gouache is you can paint light over dark, or dark over light. You can go either way. Whereas like watercolor, you kind of have to work from light to dark. You can't paint light colors on top of dark colors. Not transparently, at least. How long have you been doing art? What is your advice to someone who wants to get started in the field? I've been drawing basically since I was a kid, like my whole life, but never, just kind of for fun, like scribbling on papers and stuff, drawing cartoons and comics and stuff. But it wasn't until kind of around the time I started this Instagram account back in towards the end of 2017, where I kind of started to try to actually intentionally get better and learn anatomy and all this other kind of stuff. But I would say in the beginning, like I kind of just say the most important thing when you're starting out is just to have fun and test out a whole bunch of different things. And once you find the thing that you like, then it will make trying to learn like the fundamentals about that thing much easier, because you have an interest in the thing, versus if you're just going around trying to learn, human anatomy, but you don't really want to draw people, then it's kind of like it's going to be a struggle to stay focused and stay motivated. But in the beginning, just test out a lot of stuff and focus on what's like the most fun for you to do, and then you'll naturally want to improve once you find the thing you like. And then at that point, then it's a good idea to try to start learning like the fundamentals of that thing. So that's kind of like my general advice. Does gouache dry fast? Yeah, gouache dries pretty fast, within a minute or two, depending on how much water you put in the mixture. If it's like a really wet mixture, almost like watercolor, it might take a couple minutes, but yeah, it dries pretty quickly. Me right now with the acrylic gouache, like I'm already planning out my trip to the supply store. Is there a color shift after drying acrylic like there is in traditional gouache? Yeah, there is a color shift, but it's and it's the same where the dark colors dry slightly lighter and light colors dry slightly darker. But it's not quite as bad as regular acrylic. It's not to the same extent that regular gouache shifts in color. It does shift, but not quite as much as regular gouache. And the more opaque you use the paint, the less the less the colors will shift, if that makes sense. Like the more watered down it is, the more of a shift will be noticeable. How many years have you been painting? I've been painting since the end of 2017, so about 7 years, and I've been drawing my whole life, so that definitely helps a lot. Do I paint and draw daily? Yeah, I try to. Do you consider faster painting with gouache than watercolor, specifically considering you can't paint light over dark? That's my main struggle. Is it faster? Yeah, I would say so. I'm definitely faster with gouache and acrylic versus watercolor, because watercolor kind of takes a little bit longer to dry since you're using more water, and you gotta kind of plan a lot more than you do with gouache, since it's a lot less forgiving. So yeah, I would say gouache is probably a little faster for me, at least. What is your go-to tips for using gouache? I tried painting with it, but it kept drying, so I thought I was using it wrong. Were you using regular gouache or acrylic gouache? Because my tips are probably, if it's regular gouache and it keeps drying, then that's not a problem, because you can always just add some water to reactivate it if you want to. But my general tips for regular gouache, I like to work in layers. The early layers are usually more dilute paint, and then from there I like to build up the opacity as I'm going along. What else? But once you I don't like to jump straight in with super thick paint with regular gouache, because the thicker the paint that's on the paper, the easier it is to get disturbed by future layers that you want to put on top of it. So yeah, work from thin to thick. And the drying isn't an issue because you can always just re-wet it. Whenever I'm doing anything precise, it gets hard to talk for some reason. How do you know when the painting is done? When do you determine to stop and everything is good? I struggle with this. It really depends on the painting, but my general rule of thumb is when I feel like I'm not making like a huge difference anymore and I'm just kind of like noodling around, like that's kind of when I stop. But it's not really like a hard point. I started getting into gouache in the past 8 months. It can be frustrating having come from oil painting and watercolor, but I'm really loving it more the more I practice. Yeah, the biggest thing, well, I haven't used oil, but I imagine the biggest struggle is the color shift, because oil, you don't have to worry about that color shift. Whatever you put down is kind of what you get, which is nice. In terms of, for me, I came from watercolor first before I did gouache. So my biggest struggle was knowing how much paint actually to use before I can get like the opaque washes that gouache is known for. And it's a lot more than you would think. Like you want to if you want opaque washes, you want like a creamy texture, kind of like melted butter, maybe not melted butter, like kind of like yogurt, Greek yogurt. That gives you like a nice velvety wash. It's definitely it's a big it's a big learning curve, but it's something that kind of once you get to a certain point where something clicks and it's just like, oh, this is how it works, and then it becomes like really fun to use. Like that was me. It took me like from the time I bought my gouache before I even like got the courage to actually start using it was like 6 months. But once I kind of messed around with it and started figuring out a process that works for me, it became like my favorite medium, and I was kind of hooked ever since. Taking notes. Yeah, but it's a fun medium. It definitely and the other thing with the color shift, like once you kind of have a more experience, you'll start to be able to tell how it's going to shift, so you'll be able to kind of compensate for the color shift as you're mixing the color. Like you'll see it on the palette, and while it's wet, you'll think like, I probably need to make this like maybe either a little darker or a little lighter, depending on the specific situation. For me, the biggest challenge with gouache was matching colors and values when mixing more paint. Yeah, that's always tricky. For me, that's why I kind of, instead of pre-mixing my colors, I kind of mix on the go, and that's why I work in layers as well. So like, my first layer is just putting colors down and seeing what they look like. So once they dry, I can see what they look like, and I'll take a mental note. And then adjust it for the next layer. That's kind of the way that works for me. Whereas if you like mix them all out, if you pre-mix your colors and you run out of color, you're gonna have to try to mix that exact color again. It's kind of tricky. Well, Bird switching it up, yeah, switching it up. I've been painting a bunch of different things. I like these herons. Like I painted them before. These are water. This is watercolor, so it's like not quite as vibrant as the acrylic gouache. But yeah, these were fun. But yeah, this one's acrylic gouache, so you can. It's a bit more. Sometimes you actually match colors perfectly. Yeah, it's all. I like the spontaneity of gouache. Like that's my favorite part about just jumping in and mixing as I go and seeing what happens. How did you develop your portrait style? I like it. Thank you. How did I develop it? Well, one thing was when I was first kind of drawing, I tried like the Inktober challenge, but I didn't do like the actual prompt list. I did just like 50 days of portraits. And as I was painting the portraits, at first I was trying to like try matching the angles and stuff that I was seeing in the reference photo. But at a certain point, I found that it was easier to measure distances with straight lines and boxy shapes. So I kind of started doing that, but leaving like the straights in, and then like leaving like a more angular style. It kind of developed as I was like, it wasn't something I intentionally did. It's something I noticed that was helping me to measure distances better, and I kind of liked how it looked, and I kind of stuck with it. The beak is killing me. I love the juxtaposition between how sharp it is and the values there versus the soft edges of the neck and chin. Thank you. Yeah, the white highlights really kind of make it stand out from the background. It's funny you said that, because when I first started a painting, I feel like I still don't know what I'm doing, but as I start to add more layers, I start feeling like I got this. That's how I feel every single painting. Literally every single painting. Like I put down my base color, which is usually some weird green or blue, or in this case I went with a purple. And then once I start putting like the first layer, it like immediately goes into an ugly stage, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But then at this point, like I kind of know that I'm able to get it to a decent point because I just have an experience. But yeah, it's literally every painting I'm like, all right, what am I doing? But that keeps it interesting to me. It's trust the process. Yeah, exactly. I say that. Even after all these years, it's the same thing. But that's what keeps it interesting to me. Like if I was just painting by number, I probably would have stopped painting a while ago, because it would just be like, I know what to expect every time, you know. What brands of gouache do you use? This is Turner acrylic gouache that I'm using today. But then the next painting, I go through the same cycle again. Yeah. Love your style. Thank you. Your control over color and tone is so tuned and beautiful. Thank you. I really like how this, like the white of the feathers. If I'm trying to get some greens in there, because I like how it's like I'm adding some like turquoise and yellows, just trying to get it like, I don't know, I really like, instead of just making it straight white. How you learn to be so skillful with traditional media, and what kind of books or tutorial videos help you the most when learning art? What helped me the most? Watching a lot of James Gurney videos. Like, I never did the tutorials too much or anything, but watching guys like James Gurney and stuff and picking up tricks from him. It was another guy on YouTube. His name's Jared Loves to Draw. He did a lot of gouache paintings. He does more landscapes though, but yeah, watching his videos were helpful in just kind of understanding the tips. Like they would throw some tips, mention tips and stuff that might be helpful. But most of it, to be honest, is just getting that direct mileage and experience, just painting a bunch of things and seeing kind of what works for you. But in terms of books, the books that were most helpful to me were like anatomy books, learning how happy little herons. You're so much enjoyable to watch than Bob Ross. I don't know. Bob Ross is pretty enjoyable. That's what got me back into art. I was in grad school just sitting on the couch wasting time, and they put Bob Ross on Netflix. And I hadn't seen Bob Ross since I was like a kid. And watching him paint like those paintings made me get up and want to draw something. And a couple of years later, here we are, I guess. Gouache aside, what's the curve routine? It's I wash it with like, it's like this like coconut oil conditioner that I use, and then like once I wash it or whatever, then I put like a coconut oil and olive oil, and that's kind of it. And the water kind of helps with the curls, so. But I don't style it or anything. Trust me. And then get all the knots out and stuff, because it gets all tangly. I agree. I read lots of books and saw tons of videos, but with gouache and even watercolor, you just have to roll your sleeves and do lots of practice. Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to like gouache and watercolor. You really have to kind of feel it for yourself, because that's how you like, that's the only way you'll actually see how like the color shifts and what you need to do to like compensate for that shift to be able to get the color that you want. And then just watching yeah, it's definitely the first-hand experience. But the videos do help give you a starting place and some things to look out for sure. So yeah, I would say if you're looking for gouache, James Gurney's the main, probably the best out there in terms of gouache and knowledge. And even if it's like mostly landscape stuff, everything you're saying really applies to a lot of other subject matters. James Gurney? Gurney, Gurney, RNEY. He made like the Dinotopia books, and he has a YouTube channel. I love that even though it's not a portrait, I can still tell it's your style. It's probably all the angles and stuff. I like painting with angle. Thank you. Thank you. Robert Watts has good gouache stuff on YouTube. Yeah. The Watts Atelier. Yeah, his stuff is, and he does portraits too, and figures and stuff. I think he has like a real-time demo on YouTube. Oh, Robert Watts. That's cause Jeff Watts and Robert. I think Robert Watts is his dad. Mike Hernandez does great classes in gouache. Yeah, he does like those mountain, plein air, like mountainscapes and rocks and stuff. Yeah, his stuff is. I like how his gouache paintings look. How awesome! Thank you. Dinotopia books, amazing. I haven't thought of them in a minute. Robert is Jeff's dad. Yeah, they both do gouache. Yeah, I haven't took. I know the Watts Atelier. They do like the online classes and stuff. I'm not in California, but I haven't tried any. I haven't tried their courses. So far, I just kind of paint and then learn as I go from painting and painting from life too. That's I make definitely getting more into that. Cause I started off just painting strictly from photos, but ever since I moved up to Providence, I've been doing life drawing and plein air painting. And the biggest thing that helps with is just being able to see proportions quickly. It's only been an hour and a half. Oh, it's not bad. I feel like I don't want to say I'm done, but I don't know. Like, what else can I do? I can detail these feathers a little more, I guess. I could do another one. Maybe I'll do another one. Start from scratch. Yeah, somebody asked me, how do I know when I'm finished? At this point, I probably could call this finished. I don't know what else to do to it. I like the shapes. Could bring this highlight out a little more. Yeah, I might call this one. I kind of like it. I like, let's see, I might draw a different one. I drew this one before, but it was in watercolor, but I like the pose. Maybe I'll do a blue heron. I like this one a lot. Yeah, I might do this one. It's actually nice. hit the record. Hit the record button if you do another painting tonight, please. Yeah. I might do the drawing and then save the painting for the next live stream. I might do the drawing since I didn't do that on stream. How about that? Cause the drawing. I probably can get the drawing done in 20 minutes, and then I'll put this at midnight, and then I'll go to sleep. Oh, you like this one? Yeah, I like this one too. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Cause I like the gray background. That's gonna make this the feathers pop. And then even though it's like white, it's like a lot of colors in the white. Yeah, I think let's do this one. Let's do this one. So let me switch the camera on Instagram. So yeah, Instagram. This is the finish. I'm gonna leave it here. I'll draw another one on the next page. I'll scoot it over a little bit on YouTube. It's gotta adjust the window a little bit. Let's see. Make sure it fits on the page. That party is still going on next door. They've been going since like 6. That would be beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So yeah, the drawing. Yeah, I think somebody was asking me earlier how I like to draw. So let's go. The early stages, it might be a little bit hard to see because I kind of map out the proportions and stuff by drawing kind of lightly with pen. So yeah, I'm just gonna roughly start with the beat. And I'll just hold the pen far back, just keep it moving. Try to establish like a silhouette a little bit. Make sure I record. I said I would. I record. I have my phone up here. That's kind of off camera, but yeah, we record. All right, yeah. So that's the one thing. Like these birds are. It's nice because you don't have to get it quite as exact as like a face. If you have like the eyes kind of off a little bit, it'll be super noticeable. But like with the bird, you have much more. It's much more forgiving. So I'm just kind of establishing how it's gonna sit on a page because I can't erase, so I had to start drawing like lightly at first. Try to establish like the major landmarks. The eyes probably something like right there. And I like the great blue herons. They look cool because they have like that blue and then like the yellow on the beak. That's gonna look pretty nice. And once I have the general, I don't know, is that showing up? Can you guys even see that? I can't tell. I'm fans. I love it. Jamar, always thank you. Yeah, I don't know if this is showing up on camera or not. But at a certain point, once I start kind of darkening it, it'll make it a little bit little easier to see. But yeah, it's going along. Trying to get the rough placement, but it's not exact, but it's close enough. Yeah, we can see it perfectly. Yes, the naturally occurring complementary colors. And yeah, thanks for letting me know how you can see it. And yeah, the reason I switched to just sketch and write in pen, because for some reason I'm actually faster when I can't erase. Like when I don't think about erasing, I just, whatever you put down, you just gotta try to make it work somehow. So it's it makes it yeah, I just found that I don't have to try to do construction lines or anything like that. Just whatever gets me to drawing faster. That's a beautiful thick bird, looking good already. Thank you. The crazy people are the ones that use like those fine liners that you can't really get that much. Like it just puts down a straight bold line. Now that's really impressive. It's a guy that I follow. I think his name's Alex Stanton. All he does like just find a whole bunch of sketches with like those ball pens. And have you ever done architectural paintings or sketches? Yeah, I do plein air painting outside. I can see the drawing. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I do. I go around. I ride around town on my scooter and just stop and if I see something cool, I stop and paint it. I could show you on this. Yeah, I can show you my sketchbook. Yeah, so these are kind of the like my plein air paintings. So these are just like different. These are on location, different spots around Providence and like the Boston area. Yeah, they're really fun to do. This was at night. It's fun to paint. Painting at night is actually pretty fun. This is one I didn't finish. That's Philly. That's another one I didn't finish. That's up in Boston. But yeah, it's just a bunch of these. Like I was saying earlier, I like drawing construction vehicles. Those are always pretty fun to paint. But yeah, I like painting architecture and stuff. Is that egret or heron? This is I think this is a great blue heron. I was about to grab my paintbrush. Not quite ready to paint yet. Yeah, this is a heron. It's gonna be a great blue heron, I think. This was a Goliath heron that we painted earlier. This one, I think I'm gonna see how long this drawing takes. I might start. It should be about like 5 or 10 more minutes. Yeah, I might paint it actually. We'll see. If I finish this before 12, I might put the base layer down. How do you set up outside? I have a whole setup. I have the if you heard of Strata Easel, I have the Strata Easel watercolor set, and then I have a whole bunch of these clamps. A whole bunch of these clamps that clamp everything too. I should put actually in my story. If you look at my story right now, I have because I actually did painting outside earlier today, so you can kind of see my setup in my story on Instagram. Sketchbook is fire, awesome work. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. I saw one of these birds a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if they're rare or not in Providence, but I never noticed them before, but I probably wasn't looking before either. But I was like, oh, that's cool. I just did a whole sketchbook page on them, and I'd seen them in real life, and I was like, that was actually pretty cool. I just realized you stand while drawing. I thought you were sitting the whole time. Yeah, this is a standing desk. It can go up and down. But yeah, I like to stand when I work. If I get tired, I have like this stool that I can kind of sit on that I don't have to lower the desk all the way down to a sitting position. But yeah, I prefer to stand. I started sketching in ink. It was terrifying at first, but the more I did it, the better I got. You were more careful with your observation and more intentional with the sketch. Yeah, exactly. That's what I noticed too. It makes it because since you can't erase whatever you put down. And I like this. I use this. It's the big crystal bold 1.6. So it's a bit bolder than like the normal. Cause I have this one and then I have the fine blue one. And the bold one is actually easier to get really light lines. So you can try to find your proportions with the light lines first, and then once you like how it's looking, you can always press harder to kind of darken the line. Great blue herons are very, very shy. I've tried to photograph them, but it's super hard to get up close. Oh wow, yeah, I didn't know they were shy. Yeah, this one, it was so I was painting. I don't have this sketchbook of the painting. I did this at home, but I was standing on this bridge painting. Like this bridge was over the water, and it was like rocks at the bottom of the bridge, and it flew, and it was just chilling down at the bottom of the bridge. Like it caught a fish, and it was just chilling on the rocks, like eating the fish. And I recognized it because it had like that bright, like yellow orange beak. It was it's cool. They're actually pretty big too. They're really big. I feel like I was talking about something else, but I can't remember what I was talking about. Yeah, it seems like already YouTube is more active than my Twitch has been. Oh, sorry, I missed your last painting. Can I have a peek? Yeah, this was the last one. This was this bird over here. Yeah, it was this one. And now we're gonna. This one's kind of cool. It caught a fish. But yeah, I'm gonna do this one now. This feels therapeutic. Yeah, these are fun, and it actually makes the time go by faster than if I was just painting by myself. Beautiful. Thank you. So I don't know what these kind of feathers, like they're like really pointy, or maybe they're just wet. I don't know. I like your plein air paintings of Providence. I grew up there but left a long time ago. Your paintings bring back good memories of growing up there. Yeah, it's a cool town. It's like it's like a small city, but you can get everywhere, and it's like a lot of stuff. Like I've been here since about 2 years now, and I like it. I like it. Especially now that the weather's nice, I just either ride my scooter or ride my bike around town and just stop and paint anything that looks cool. I wasn't painting as much in the winter because it was kind of chilly. I hope you're having a good night. Yeah, I am. I hope you are too. Thanks for hanging out. I just subscribed. Thank you. You have to get all your Instagram followers to subscribe to your YouTube. I didn't know you had a channel. Yeah, my channel's been I haven't posted a video in a while. But yeah, I'm working on a video, so I'm gonna try to get back in the swing of things in terms of YouTube. Cause yeah, it's been a while since I posted, so I wasn't really saying much about it. How much do you worry about accuracy versus getting the essence down? With this one, I'm not really worried too much about it. I'm just kind of getting the essence down. And in general, I kind of, unless it's like a commission, like for a portrait commission, and it's not something I'm doing for myself, then like commissions, people want to make sure that they look like themselves. But any kind of personal work, I'm going more for essence. Your hair looks so good. Thank you. It's getting kind of long, wild. Thank you for answering questions. Your work is cool, and I like hearing about your background. Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. It's unless I kind of lose my train of thought at sometimes, but other than that, it's fun to answer questions and hang out and do these lives. When we do a live again, by the way, I like to join again. I think I'm gonna come back on Friday around 8 or 9. I gotta get going. It's late, 11:42 here, and I gotta get up to work tomorrow. Yeah, same here. It's getting late. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. Yeah, thanks for taking the time to answer questions. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so that's like this is like the extent that I would go in terms for like the undersketch for a painting. Like since I'm just gonna paint over it anyway, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be that detailed. Like I'm not gonna do too much extensive rendering, but basically just map out where everything is. And I don't know, that was probably like 20 minutes maybe. It's 4:46 here in Nigeria. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's about to be midnight. I'm on the East Coast of the United States. Only thing I want to map out this light spot. Yeah, the sketch for me, it just serves as like a like a what's the word? Like a roadmap. So what's a good base color? Thank you. Good night. Yeah, have a good night. Have a good night. Hey, how's it going over on YouTube? This beat kind of got cut off a little bit. Yeah, I think I might call it here, just so that I think I'll paint the whole thing in one sitting instead of just doing a base layer now, cause I gotta get some sleep. Red. This one. Red would actually be nice, cause the red would I would be able to kind of let some of the red show through in this part. And then there's like some greens in there that will complement with. Red might be cool. Yeah, I actually might do red. This one I did magenta. You can kind of see it a little bit peeking through there. I like how that came out though. The magenta. So this one, I think red might be kind of cool. I think I'll do red. I said red because the center of the image and the little highlight you can see under the wing. Yeah. Red, like putting the yellow beak on top of the red's that'll look nice. Yeah, I think I might go with red. Thank you for sharing your art and beautiful energy. You are appreciated. Would love to see more of your live streams on YouTube. Your last upload to YouTube was great. Love your hair. Thank you. Please stream more on YouTube. Thank you for this live. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch over to YouTube because YouTube already. This is my first stream. It's more active. My Twitch is I didn't stream like regularly on any kind of schedule, and two, I feel like YouTube, everybody has a YouTube versus Twitch is kind of tricky. A terracotta would look good too. Yeah, I think any kind of warm is gonna look nice because all the cool colors on top, it'll give it some contrast. So I think I am gonna lean towards some kind of warm color. Please, I'm literally so thrilled. I feel like I finally understand underpainting. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, underpainting, it's not one specific way to use it, but it's like things that you can do where it will be kind of strategic and give you like certain benefits, but it's definitely not the one way. Like you keep, like I could easily start with blue or not, but just I like to have a color that's not immediately obvious, because that way you can kind of get like unexpected color mixes and stuff that you might not have thought of. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do red, but I think I'm gonna hold off and paint it. I'll be back on Friday. I'll paint again on Friday, 8 o'clock, I want to say. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll be back. This was the first one we did today. This was cool. These birds are actually, the herons, they're actually really fun to paint. If you're looking for something if you're looking to switch up, if you did like portraits and you want to switch up, try these herons. They're actually really fun. I watch you on Twitch too. Both are better than Instagram. Yeah, Instagram, it like I'm sure the chat kind of like blocks the bottom half of the palette and everything, and it's probably a more appealing format, like the widescreen. But Yeah, both. It's nice just to be able to stream on both. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'll cut you. I cut you on. I want to say I'll cut you on Friday. I'll be back. So yeah, see you later. Thanks for hanging out.